Hi, my name is Di Hong. I'm a Buddhist monk and an adjunct professor at the University of the West, teaching Buddhist psychology, and I volunteer with the Engaged Buddhist Alliance. In this video, I will discuss the four wholesome qualities of the mind. The technical term is Brahma Viharas, which means the four divine abodes. They are loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity. We all go through suffering and loss. We are grieving. We want to free our mind from our mental and psychological stresses and achieve a sense of peace and joy. These four wholesome mental states can be cultivated to help us lead a life with peace and happiness. They can be practiced with mindfulness meditation, meaning once mindfulness is established, then we can add any of these four practices. When our mind is trained with these four wholesome qualities, they can help us to overcome many of the challenges that we face on a daily basis. Loving kindness is the ability to embrace all parts of ourselves as well as all parts of the world. We train our mind to be kind and loving toward ourselves and everyone. It is the source of healing for ourselves and the world. When we practice loving kindness, our mind is expansive and open enough to include the entirety of life in full awareness, both its pleasures and its pains. We understand that change and uncertainty are the nature of life. Of everything that we encounter, we fully comprehend and embrace life. With loving kindness, we do not judge ourselves harshly or hold our past misdeeds against us. If we did, it would be difficult for us to move forward, especially when we are trying to focus on this spiritual journey. It would be next to impossible for us to make any progress. For instance, anger is an unpleasant feeling. It should be seen as an agitation of the mind, and with mindfulness, we see that it comes and goes. We don't have to identify with it and be dragged into the story behind anger. We need to take care of ourselves first. With loving kindness, we are able to heal ourselves instead of continuing to hurt ourselves and others. The practice of loving kindness can uproot the force of fear, anger, and guilt, allowing us to love ourselves no matter what. Loving kindness helps us to see the goodness in others, even in difficult people. We are fully aware of their difficult qualities. At the same time, we choose to focus on the positive. We look at their difficult qualities from a friend's perspective. We realize that everyone deserves to be happy. We feel happy when they are happy. It binds all beings together. With mindfulness, we are able to extend and strengthen that loving heart. In brief, loving kindness is the mental attitude that wishes everyone, including ourselves, to be happy and healthy. It works to counter anger and resentment. As a metaphor, think of loving kindness as the love of a mother for her child, making sure that her child is healthy and happy. Or visualize yourself as a 5-year-old kid. Offer loving kindness to that kid and then direct it to yourself. Else, you can offer loving kindness to a pet, a dog or a cat. Then direct it to yourself. In terms of training your mind during meditation, after sitting for some time and your mind is settled, you can repeat any or all of the following phrases. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be free of stress, free of anger, free of ill will. May I have the patience, courage, understanding, and the determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. Once your mind is grounded in mindfulness and loving kindness for yourself, you can direct this loving kindness to your loved ones, friends, strangers, and difficult people. Why do we offer loving kindness to difficult people? Because the nature of loving kindness is unconditional, infinite, and unobstructed. It does not discriminate. But if you are not ready to offer loving kindness to difficult people, it is okay. Direct loving kindness to yourself and loved ones. With diligence, one day you'll be ready. Compassion involves the recognition and clear seeing of suffering. It also involves feelings of kindness for people who are suffering, so that the desire to help and remove suffering emerges. It involves recognizing our shared human condition, flawed and fragile as it is. It enables us to treat ourselves with the same kindness, caring, and compassion. No matter what we did in the past, we would show to a good friend or even a stranger. Self-compassion consists of 3 components. 1, self-kindness, that we be gentle and understanding with ourselves rather than harshly critical and judgmental. 2, common humanity, feeling connected with others in the experience of life rather than feeling isolated and alienated by our suffering. And 3, mindfulness, holding our experience in balance, awareness, rather than ignoring our pain or exaggerating it. With self-compassion, it is a powerful way to achieve emotional well-being and contentment in our lives. By being unconditionally kind to ourself, our mind does not give rise to unhealthy states, fear, anger, sadness, etc. We can cultivate healthy mind states such as happiness, joy, hope, and optimism, which enable us to appreciate the beauty and richness of life, even in difficult times. Self-compassion serves as a refuge for us to feel safe and secure from the uncertainty and chaos of life. It gives us the power to adapt and succeed, not just survive. We stop judging and criticizing ourselves. We will not act in ways that harm ourselves and others. We pray or meditate to take care of our mental health. We exercise to stay physically healthy. We read and write to maintain a positive mental attitude. Compassion helps us to see our mistakes and failures as past actions instead of condemning ourselves. We are able to show and express our emotional pain. We are then able to comfort and take care of ourselves. When we feel lonely, it comes from thinking that we feel disconnected from others, even though we are surrounded by people. Further, when we compare and do not realize contentment, we feel bad about ourselves and distant from others. We need to abandon all of this and fully understand the interconnectedness in all of us. Then we are able to practice compassion for ourselves and others. As a metaphor, think of compassion as the love of a mother for her child, ensuring that her child is secure and protected. Or visualize yourself as a 5-year-old kid. Offer compassion to that kid and then direct it to yourself. Else, you can offer compassion to a pet, a dog or a cat, then direct it to yourself. To train your mind for compassion, after meditating for a few minutes, when your mind is settled, you can recite some or all of the following phrases. May I recognize my suffering. May I love myself unconditionally. May I not react to my suffering. May I not do anything to harm myself and others. May I be calm and peaceful. Once your mind is established in mindfulness and compassion, you can direct your compassion to your loved ones, friends, strangers, and difficult people. Again, the nature of compassion is unconditional, infinite, and unobstructed. If you're not ready to offer compassion for difficult people, it is okay. Continue to practice compassion for yourself and loved ones with diligence. You will be ready one day. So how do you know that the practices of loving kindness and compassion work? When you stop criticizing and judging yourself and others. When you continue to come in close contact with a difficult person, and you can still maintain a sense of peace and calmness. Your mind is not agitated. You know that you are making progress. Appreciative joy means finding joy in the happiness and fortune of others. With an open heart, we feel rejoiced that a ray of joy has pierced through someone's life to dispel the gray and gloom mist that enwraps his or her heart. We will gain in joy by sharing the happiness of others as if it were ours. The Buddha called appreciative joy the mind deliverance of gladness, because this mental attitude of happiness actually liberates us. It can free our mind from our misperception about loneliness, loss, and happiness, and offers us that there is another possibility, that we can rejoice in the blessing and happiness of others as well as our own fortune. No matter how little we have, this is a noble practice from a noble heart. Our mind can be stuck in the torments of judging, comparing, discriminating, demeaning, and envying. We cannot find even a bit of joy anywhere. This calls for the need to liberate our mind from this web of mental suffering, to detach from these afflicting mental states. We turn to the practice of appreciative joy. It is non-judgmental. It breaks down the wall that keeps our hearts closed. It enables us to detach from the torments listed above. We'll be able to find a source of joy by seeing and sharing the happiness and blessings of others. Contentment is the knowledge of enough. It basically means that right here, right now, everything is perfect as it is, regardless what you are experiencing outside. In Bhutanese culture, contentment means control of your mind, control of wants in your life. Don't be jealous with others. Be happy with what you have. Be compassionate. Be a society where you can be more than happy to share. Appreciative joy counters envy and jealousy. To practice appreciative joy, once your mind is grounded in awareness, you can repeat some or all of the following phrases. May I acknowledge my goodness and rejoice in it. My virtue, the precepts I keep, the bad that I have given up, and the commitment I have made. May I be able to bear with the foolish things that I did as actions rather than as myself. May your happiness continue. May your fortune continue. If possible, you can rejoice in the happiness and fortune of the difficult people. Equanimity refers to a state of mind that is unshakable, balanced, and vigilant. We maintain a sense of empathic connection to others as well as to ourselves. Equanimity holds a caring space that allows us to grow. We can go through what we need to experience, no matter how difficult it is. We don't expect what life should be, but to be fully present with all the challenges that constitute our lives. Rather than trying to control what can never be controlled, we can find a sense of security in being able to meet what is actually happening. We accept life as it is, things as they are, and people for who they are. We learn to let go of our expectation and desire to change. We no longer struggle and truly connect with what is. We learn to relate to life fully. The insecurity, we develop the courage to stay open to suffering. We recognize the boundaries, responsibility, and the source of happiness. Equanimity is likened to the way parents feel when their children become adults. It has all the warmth and qualities of loving kindness, compassion, and appreciative joy. Further, it has wisdom, balance, understanding that things are as they are. Here's how to train your mind on equanimity. After your mind is settled, repeat some or all of the following phrases. May I accept things the way they are. May I see people for who they are. May I not be disturbed by the comings and goings of events. May I learn to see the nature of all phenomena. May I be open, balanced, and peaceful. Notice a sense of stillness and peace in your mind as a result of this practice. Here are some notes on the 4 wholesome qualities of the mind. Equanimity, like circuit breakers, provides balance for loving kindness, compassion, and appreciative joy. Loving kindness prevents compassion from becoming partial, preventing it from selectively favor someone and against another. Compassion prevents loving kindness and appreciative joy from forgetting that happiness is limited and suffering still exists in the world, from being complacency. Compassion guards equanimity from falling into a cold difference. Appreciative joy holds compassion back from becoming overwhelmed. It gives equanimity the mild serenity and softens its stern appearance. Equanimity guards loving kindness and compassion from being dissipated in vain quests and going astray. Equanimity provides loving kindness, uneven, unchanging firmness, and loyalty, a great virtue of patience. Having discussed these 4 wholesome mental states, how do you start? You want to start training with loving kindness first until it is fully established in your mind. Then move on to compassion, appreciative joy, and eventually equanimity. This concludes my talk on the mental training for 4 wholesome qualities of the mind. Thank you for watching. I would like to dedicate all the merits to you and your loved ones. May you and your loved ones be safe and healthy. May your spiritual practice be fruitful. May all sentient beings in this universe be well and happy.